Yeah, that's better.
Hi, Mom.
Well, you missed the best 5
right.
minutes of the show right there.
Yes, Mom, they are. My values are the exact same.
I don't know. I don't think mine are.
Because I feel like you can sit in a room somewhere and learn a bunch of information, but there's only so much stuff that someone could say during, you know, one of those breakout sessions or something when you're at like a lunch and learn or you're at.
Of course, our good friends at Steph's Bookkeeping, great ribbon
Getting distracted and just tell your story.
And we sent them flying. Fuck, we're late.
You're going.
But we're on?
Yep, we're on.
Shit, look at us. Oh, sorry.
I'm watching us right now.
Look at you, us. Look at you looking at us. Yeah. That's awkward.
All right. Well, clearly we're a few minutes late today, but
we're running hard. We had some training that needed to be done, and therefore that comes first. Training, hey? Let's talk training. Do you do training?
Yeah.
Kent, do
every
you do
Tuesday.
Training? You do?
At my
training all the time. Which
Love
job?
that. So much to circle back on. So let's talk training today. We were trained to be good.
But yeah, so
and here we are.
So at Steph's Books, every Tuesday we do Brain Teaser Tuesday. So we'll either do like a small, like a mini like test on a subject, or we'll do a training session on something if it doesn't transition well into a test, and it would just make more sense to just do a live session with me and the team, like on QuickBooks or whatever.
Do you call that role playing?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. I love it when it's called role playing. Mm-hmm. So that's training your humans, right? You train your humans. I do the same. We do the same. We love to train. It's invaluable to me.
Right. Yeah. And they can submit. It's just nice because I feel like it's a great team building exercise for us on Tuesdays, because when we have like a test and it's either super easy or super hard, and then the team, we go over the answers together, like in a classroom style setting, and they they high five each other, or they congratulate each other for getting the right answer, or there's a lot of communication about something that they were stuck on because somebody else was stuck on it, so they don't feel so like stupid about the topic. So it just creates like a lot of team building for us.
So when it comes to training, do you feel that training for your humans, employees, is valuable for more than just the learning experience as far as what subject matter you're training on, right? It is team building. Team building is not, hey, we're going to learn about, for our industry, we're going to learn about safety. Mm-hmm. Well, safety may have nothing to do with team building on that subject, that moment, that day. But as you mentioned, everybody starts to chime in. People are giving high fives. Yeah, you got that answer right? It is a team building thing just to train. Doesn't matter what you're training on.
Right. No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We do a variety of things. It could be specifically a bookkeeping related thing that is universally applied across all bookkeeping platforms. It could be a QuickBooks specific thing. And like I told you before, I stole your thing, and we did.
You stole what?
Yeah, we did 2 truths and a lie one day as our Brain Teaser Tuesday and stuff, and that was just like a fun day.
How did that work out?
I think fine.
You hope?
Everybody thought it was funny. I had prizes. So if you guessed like who, I just bought like a couple boxes of candy and stuff. So if you guessed the lie on whomever, then you want a box of candy.
So your training for said employees is more based on how to build not just their knowledge, but their whole their group orientation, right? Like the team building, right? It's not to my point, to your point, to everybody's point that we're talking about or whatever here. I'm not just going to go and do a educational thing and then not expect some kind of team building out of it.
Right. Well,
Right.
like we do, but like, so we base some of the topics on work review. So as me and Valerie are going through and reviewing the work of the team, we sometimes can notice that, okay, well, everybody seems to be kind of getting caught up here or struggling a little bit with this here. And let's get it nipped in the butt and get it, more streamlined and, show maybe an easier way to do something or whatever the case may be. So,
in our business, we have to build containment plastic doors, right? Where you have a door, you swing it shut, right? But in our world, we open that door, we keep it open, or we completely remove it from the hinges. And we put a plastic door up because we want it to be zippered shut. So if we open it, that zipper is a very small opening that we can get through quickly and then close it back up. And so putting those doors up because it's under different pressures is a lot of training. But when we do that training specifically for our employees, we try to integrate team building as well. And that's what I really like is how you're talking about taking that to the next level of not just going, hey, we want to build A, and that's it. But if we can build A and also build team building and this and, a little bit of compliance or everything into it,
right.
That kind of training is more valuable to some people that many people, to me, I look at and go, that's some of the best training that I've ever received was multi-layer training, not just training that I walk in and go, oh, I'm trying to learn how to give CPR today.
Well, I feel like, I don't know how you were as like
a child,
student, like
a student. I was a piece of shit.
Right. So I feel like that
I needed multiple levels of interaction. I did not need learn how to do CPR.
But I just feel like however you were as a child in a classroom is going to be similar to how you are as an adult in a classroom. You're going to be the same level of antsy, same, you're going to need breaks, you need whatever. So you have to take that into consideration and know your team when you're building a training session or strategy session for your audience.
What a great point.
You can't be like, what's the teacher from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? You can't, you can't be,
Bueller.
Like, you can't be that guy, especially when you're talking about accounting.
John Lovitz?
They're going.
Is that who it is? No, that's not John Lovitz. Sorry, that was
they're going to fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like, I have to keep things interesting and fun. And
is that you as a teacher for the training, or is that because I could say this? I love to talk at people. I love to talk at people. I love to talk at you. But to me, I also pay attention to those people that are spacing out. Like, I could see it on your face if you're spacing out. And I'm like, come here. Zip 2, right? I guess to me, it's like, do you that's the human, right? Like the guy from Ferris Bueller, he had no clue what was in front of him. Do you have a clue what's in front of you as a trainer?
Well, I mean, especially if it's my own team, I have 100%. I have an idea because it's like I've been working with them. I've been
many
seeing
professors can see them, and
them. And
still
so, but we're also
have
like
no-
a small group. Hi, Mom.
That's true.
Are you in a dungeon?
We're in the other studio. But so it's like, for example, when we
Hi,
go
Mom.
to, okay, so when we go to QuickBooks
No.
Connect,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
you have to put a presentation together for a bunch of accountants, and there's between like 30 to 75 in the room, depending on the class.
Totally.
And so you have to keep them engaged,
Entertained.
even though we're not like,
Are you not entertained?
you know, you have to keep them engaged. You have to maybe throw a question or two out there to kind of go along with your slide. If you're just standing up there and you're like, slide 1, bump, 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 slide 2,
I
bump,
love
bump, bump,
that.
and you don't
Okay.
make eye contact with me, or you don't like seem as enthusiastic about the topic as we all are coming to try and learn about the topic, like it really demotivates you to want to stay in that room.
So is that quality of the teacher?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Simple as that.
Well,
Simple as that.
done. Next question.
Yes.
Holy
like,
shit.
like
Yes.
if you're gonna
Yes, you're right.
Like if-
I would agree.
like if you're gonna teach someone,
That was so fast. I expected some banter back and forth. Come on, Steph, work with me here.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna teach somebody something, you need to get them engaged and get them excited about it, and you need to be excited about it. It's just like when you and Carrie flooded your basement. Like, you know how many people tuned in live to watch that event? Like,
Should we
happen.
do that again?
You know, I talk to Carrie. I don't know, but
Carrie would say yes. Carrie would say hell yeah.
But I'm just saying, like that, like the little bit of promotion that you guys did, and like
Hell yeah.
the stuff, and then you got everybody like curious, like, is he really gonna flood like his real basement and everything? And then it happened, and then your kids were involved. Like, it got everybody interested to see what happens and what to do in that situation as a homeowner or business owner if that
I love
particular
that
situation
perspective.
happens.
I really like that perspective.
Well, I feel like it got everybody like interested. Like, you were training all of us homeowners on what to do if your basement floods and what not to do. And
So
you know.
to back up a bit to the point of, does the trainer need to be interesting? Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
well, I just feel like I can't learn something from somebody that's not excited about the topic they're talking about. Like, when you get Kent talking about basketball, his whole body language changes, his eyes light up, like he's ready.
Did you see the smile that just came across his face when he said,
like,
he was looking at his phone, texting, and you said, Kent and basketball.
like
Yep.
you get
That's the
him
thing.
like
Yeah.
talking about it and
100%.
explaining the game, or explaining like strategies that retired players used to do, and now these young guys, and you know, all these things. Like, you have to be excited about the topic, otherwise it just sounds so scripted and just boring.
How do you know you're not excited about the topic? Because that to me is a trainer's perspective, right? Us as trainees being trained can always look at something and go, that's a shitty trainer. That's a shitty professor. That's a shitty teacher. That person sucks. I will never go back to this class. I now officially hate underwater basket weaving.
Okay.
Well, I went to a class. I thought I was going to like it. And officially, I don't like it, which happened to be almost my degree.
Underwater basket weaving.
Underwater basket weaving was what my uncle told me I should go get my degree in.
That's a real degree.
I have no fucking clue. But the way he said it, I was sold. I was sold. Right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, he said it. I went, yeah, I'm in. And then went and looked, and it's not a real thing. So is it really the teacher, the trainer, or the teacher, trainee, trainer, trainee, right? Where do you draw the line where you go, it really sucks to be in this position. I need to change, or do I need to go get a different teacher? Am I the teachee, trainee, and I need to go get a different trainee? Or am I the teacher and nobody likes this? Therefore, maybe I should stop teaching. Right? Where do you draw that line? Because I know several people that think their teacher was a piece of shit, but really they just don't want to learn it. Maybe that teacher had all the knowledge and they really could have been the best coming out of it. But they didn't like it. And they were like, nope, don't like it. I'm off. Turn it off. Done. I'm out. So how do you navigate that little bit of difference? Because that's a fine gray area to me. Yeah.
I think it depends on what it is, right?
Because that's like coach and athlete, right?
Well, yeah. So when I went to tech school for construction, the instructor was like Ferris Bueller, just very dry. I mean, he'd been in the trades for so long.
He was a lecturer.
Yeah, no personality.
He lectured.
But then when you got in the shop and you started building cabinets and things, then you're like, I can follow this guy. In the classroom, not so much, but when it's hands-on and he's moving and doing things. So I think it all depends on.
So that guy, hang on now. Yeah. That's to my point. That guy was actually decent. He told what he needed to tell in the classroom.
Yeah.
You get into the shop, he's not shutting you off in the shop as well. He's not a Ferris Bueller lecturer in the shop.
No, he still was.
But
he's working.
So that's
your cabinet or whatever.
That's your ability then.
Yeah.
To see the difference between, because he didn't change anything he did.
Right.
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 So that's your difference in learning ability.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where I say, great. If I'm a trainee and I don't get it when he's talking at me.
Right.
In a lecture hall, but then I get it when he's talking at me in a wood shop, right? Or whatever, and I'm learning with my hands. Great, I can learn from this.
Yeah.
But what? Questions and provide candy as rewards for the No, Sharon.
That's what I just said that I did during.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But okay, so to my point, though,
everybody loves a treat.
To my point, are your lecturer and shop coach, same human, didn't change anything he did. Did not offer candy.
Did not offer candy. Didn't speed up his speech or anything like that. It was just like
or slow it down. A lot of us need slower.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now.
What you're describing is your learning style. That's what you're saying. Is how
your learning style, exactly. Right? So to me, that's where as trainees, you got to look at it differently of who do I train best off of?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's just like,
or trainers.
We've done
who am I teaching?
Yeah, we've done like topics where they had like a little written portion of it, and then like you could tell during the answer section time of the brain teaser, it wasn't clicking with anybody.
Yeah.
So then we moved it over to a live demonstration in the software to then it clicked. So
how many people out there?
Everybody feels comfortable. As long as your employees feel comfortable asking you to do something different where it clicks. Like if you talking at them doesn't work and they're like, hey, I still don't understand this. Can you put the barrier on the door and show me exactly what you're talking about? Then,
draw me an illustration of what you're talking about, right?
I feel like everybody as an adult, I feel like if you were afraid as a kid, you're going to be afraid to ask as an adult, but as an adult, you should ask if you truly want to be successful in that role and move within the
you
company.
Need to be educated.
You have to ask questions. You have to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable with asking your questions, no matter how weird you think they might sound.
Love that. So, i.e., and this is what I want to boil it down to is asking questions is making you educated,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But it's also giving me feedback as the trainer to know how to tweak the next session
That's as a
based
trainer.
upon right. But I'm just saying, you as the trainee asking me a specific set of questions lets me know what I did well and what I did bad in my presentation to then tweak it for the next time.
When I say, hey, can you reiterate this? And you're like, yeah, sure. P&L statements mean X, Y, and Z, right? You're saying that, but then you're also taking into consideration that the way you described it did not work for me,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
As a trainee, I want to look at things and go, if I'm asking questions and I can't learn it, how do I need to learn it? One of the biggest things for myself and being somebody that is learning curved, right? I have things that it takes me to, I have some squirreling that I do.
Yeah, a little bit of ADHD.
Ooh, I'm not putting any name to it. We're just calling that
A little ADHD.
I squirrel. So
I'll put a name to it. Adult onset ADHD. To the
hang on. It
To
was
the
not
fourth
adult
degree.
onset. It was not adult onset.
hey, when I was
It was well before.
a kid, I called it hyper.
Yes, I was.
A little hyper.
No, I was a spaz.
Yeah. You're younger.
But correct. But looking back at that, I look at it and go, well, for myself, I now have to learn how to learn.
Right. So to that point, I just took a bunch of training, online training. Now everything is online.
Oh, great! So you know everything.
Yes, and I speed it up to 2 times. So they're talking fast, right? Because if they talk at regular pace, I'm like you. Oh, look, there's a crack in the ceiling. When did that crack?
Look at this fucking undone stitch.
Right. So Alice comes
That
in.
one.
Alice comes in and into the office, and it's and I'm paying attention. I'm Mason.
You're on top.
And she's like, "What is that?" I go, "If I don't do it at 2 times speed, my brain goes everywhere, and then I'll have to take the test 7 times because it's too slow, and I go everywhere." Yeah.
So I've actually learned to listen at regular speed. What?
I can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? No, I actually pull what everybody says at regular speed. I'm okay with it. I'm thinking a million miles an hour, but my listening, I have trained myself to listen at normal pace. So I'm decent, and I think yeah, I know, but I can still hear it. But yeah, I think you may understand that. Like I can talk to you at a normal pace, hear what you're saying, but I'm still going to pay attention to the guy that's pulling in behind us, how close I get to your car, right? Like I was talking on the phone when I backed my truck up.
You hit her?
No, he can fit his driver's license in between our cars.
Oh, jeez.
And when she says our cars, this is the this microphone is my
Tow hitch
my
thing?
tow hitch, right? My ball, right? And then her tailgate is like this. Her bumper is literally over the ball. Or I think it's over like the ball
That's what she said.
socket. Right. Yeah. No, I mean, it's like that. And I literally could slide my driver's license in between.
So when we have to go, because all of us go or have gone for multi-day training for our industry.
Carrie fucking hates that. We just did it. Yeah. She hates it.
We all go do it. And if you and Carrie just went, just the two of you, do you guys do like something in the evenings to kind of reset, or do you just go back to the hotel room and just relax?
Okay. I'd like to
try
say,
and do stuff with my team after, like we'll go to dinner
and
or
you're
we'll
fucking
go
shop because you wind
to
up
a
talking
show
about
or.
you run. Well, okay, that's
But we don't really talk about the day. We just
you
go
allow
and
that because Carrie always loves to talk about that stuff.
No, because if we're so from if the expo or whatever the thing
Ends at
is,
5.
then you're off the clock at 5. We're not talking
We're
about
done.
the stuff. We're not talking about the teachers.
Carrie
we're not talking
will
about
talk.
any of that.
Carrie
we are
will
going
talk
to dinner and we're going to talk about how cute the bartender is, or
Yep.
how somebody I don't know
Was it
fell
Rich?
in the middle of the classroom or whatever.
Love that.
Like we're not really talking much about the sessions.
Okay.
Anymore.
So Carrie and I we do a business planning retreat that the Menses do.
Mm-hmm.
Clean Bee, shout out. And they do the same retreat with the same company that we do. It's a third-party business planning consultant. And every year before this past October or November when we went, every year we have gone and done it in Ohio. And their business retreat in Ohio, it's the same time, late October, early November. But what they do is they have you do a business plan for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we've done this, the past 2 years, is we have come to find that we do a full day, like your convention. We do a full day, which is brutal. You're there you're on the floor hard at 8,
mm-hmm.
and you're done at 4 or 5.
Right.
And you're fucking whipped.
Right. It's like a lot more draining than a normal work day.
100%.
Yeah.
Right? And so what we do with this conference is normally they do that from 8 till 4 or 5 or whatever. And then they do another half day. So it's 1.5 days. This year, when we went to Florida, they did 3 half days. So we're going 8 till 1. And then we have afternoon and evening off.
Mm-hmm.
Off. I mean, they have things scheduled, but you're not required to be there, right? It's all networking. It's all whatever. One of the days, I went golfing and was able to go golfing down there. So all I'm saying, though, is this is a full training for three half days or 1.5 days of training. No. And the water was disgusting. Disgusting. As my nephew says. Nope. I also appreciate clean water and not sharks or jellyfish. So it's more the jellyfish. Silent killers. So what I have to say is, for us, for the way we did it was, to your point of going in and being just totally blasted at the end of the day, and then being like, now we're going to go out and do other things, because that's typically the protocol. You're talking a 16-hour day, 18-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
Really, when you come back at the end of the night, it's 10, 11, midnight, and then you're up at 6 in the morning to go to the next day, right? You're talking about an 18-hour day. What are you really pulling out of that?
Cup of coffee and bagel.
What are you really pulling out of that? Where this event that we did was 3 half days. It was 8 till 1. Some people were in bed because they wanted to be. They got to go out to dinner. They got to hang out. They got to do all the intrinsical things that come with these events, as in networking, right? Going out to dinner with your crew, your staff, whatever. But they got to do all that, and then they walked away and were like, yeah, I was in bed by 9:30. And I'm like, freaking love that. I'd love to be in bed by 9:30.
That's staying up late for you.
I mean, kind of. Yes.
So
Shut up.
We historically go to QuickBooks Connect. This last year we didn't go, or this year we didn't go because the classroom lineup just didn't fit for what we were looking for 2025. So I was at an event on succession planning the other week. And so I talked to some other accounting firms and some other people, and I found out that some people went to the bookkeepers conference in Orlando that's in June. And they said that they absolutely loved it more because they're not an accountant. Their significant other / partner is an accountant. And so QuickBooks is more geared towards him. And her doing this other conference, it was just like a lot more learning and tools and things that she could bring back and a lot more nuggets for her.
Interesting.
So now we're looking at switching it up and potentially going to that one in June and seeing what happens. But with you being part of a franchise, are you able to switch up your like training or no? Like you have to just go to only the Restoration One.
The one
like,
we went
training.
to is not Restoration One.
Right, but they're a preferred vendor of Restoration One.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. I am not required to do anything. I don't even have to show up to the Restoration One conference. That's really like the quote unquote like QuickBooks conference, right? Like that's really what we should show up to be present in our family of Restoration One. But let's face it, if I really want to go and get knowledge, okay. God, this is probably to the point of training. I would go to all of them. I personally would go to all of them, not drag everybody with me, but just go to them and figure out what makes sense for what I need. I.e.,
right.
I go to, these conferences. My Josh and I, our ops manager, him and I went to the RIA, Restoration Industry Associates Conference, which is a huge one in our industry, not just Restoration One, but the whole industry. And we went there last year, this year, and he loved it. He's like, I'm going again. He met so many people. There were training opportunities. He met so many people during those training opportunities, and really loves to dig into that aspect of getting more knowledge outside of our preferred vendors to that point, right? Like, yeah, great. We get pumped quite a few people through Restoration One, and they do a great job of vetting those vendors. However, there's other people out there that we know they probably just won't deal with because bad blood. I don't care. Don't know the circumstance, right? But I really just want to make sure that we're talking and seeing and hearing everything everybody has to say, not just going with, hey, this is the Kool-Aid served. Let me just swig it back and be happy with it. Right. We're always adding our own sugar.
If you guys go to one of those training seminars or multi-day conference seminars, do you, and like, let's say it's just not, like you go to a few of the breakout sessions and it's just not vibing with you and whatever, but you meet up with some of the other people in your industry and you guys are able to have like a roundtable discussion outside of the seminars, do you still feel like it was still a win and successful training because you were able to do some good roundtabling with other people from different parts of the country?
100%. Would you like more? Would you like me to expand on that?
Josh says that you guys drink the rainbow Kool-Aid.
So true. Oh God, Sharon, I like all of my instructions to be provided orally. Don't.
Congrats on the new baby, Josh.
Don't laugh.
Oh, nice, Josh! Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's fantastic.
River.
As opposed to the old baby. Anyway,
that's
the older.
Fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah. What do you call it?
Well, he has 12 kids, so you really don't know.
The baby.
The newest one? The baby?
The youngest?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, hey.
The last offspring.
Hey, the newest in training.
So my question is for you all and our listening audience.
Yeah, all.
Is when you go to these trainings, at whatever training it is, do you go in with a goal of what to learn or what to take home? Or do you go in there and go, well, I've got to take this training?
I go in, no, we have a set goal. Because we could see the whole class list for all 3 days.
Yeah.
So we all pick very specific classes that we attend. So there is that anticipation of taking a nugget out of those specific classes.
What word did you just use?
Nugget.
Instapation.
Instapation. Did you hear that?
I thought I heard instapation.
And
I thought it just-
anticipation.
That makes more sense.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was just me for a minute. I was like, she just say instapation.
Did she just say instapation?
So, but yeah, so it's just
Hey, she's a bookkeeper. She's not an
She's an instapator.
it's the wrong kind of book. But
Okay.
She's not
Here's-
a
yeah,
source.
we go in there with a specific strategy, and it's very targeted on what we're gonna learn,
Yeah, so-
what we're gonna
right.
take out, and everything. I
Yeah, I
don't
love
ever if I'm gonna pay whatever
Boatload?
I like
$1,000
that.
per
A
person,
buttload?
right? If I'm gonna pay $1,000 per person, we're not going in blind.
Interesting.
I like it.
Okay. I don't go in with thinking I'm going to take nuggets from said. This is the lineup. This is the breakout rooms. Here's the breakout room, right? Topics. And I don't go into it thinking that's a breakout room topic I want to get stuff out of. So I'm going into that.
Well, if we don't sign up for them like almost a month before the conference, the sessions close out and you can't get in.
Hi, I'm Joe. I just walk in. I go, I don't know.
No, they have
It's
to scan
different.
your badge. They won't
Yep,
let you in if
fuck
it's full.
off. I meet everybody that scans badges and I get to know them and I go, no, just let me in. I'll stand at the back. If you guys get fucked off, then I'll walk out the. So I guess here's what I say is, no, it really is. Like, ask Carrie. I do this all the time. I'm not, okay, mindset, right? You're looking going, there's how to balance accounts, P&Ls, and balance sheets. I'm just saying this from an accounting perspective and relative terms on your breakout rooms, right? For us, it could be billing, insurance carriers, how to dry a room properly, and sales in the restoration industry, right? I'm not going to look at those and go, which one do I want to go to? I'm going to walk into something, but I'm not going to walk in and sit there. I'm going to know most of the people that are running that show, and that's what I'm going to do beforehand. And then I'm going to meet them. I'm going to get to know them. And then I'm going to walk in, listen to a bit of it and go, no, not good for me, walking out. And I'm going to find somebody and use that time to meet with them one-on-one and pick their brain because I know that that's what they're doing really good. That is what I'm not doing really good. So same with Carrie. Both of us walk into these conventions, these seminars, these whatever you want to call it, right? I don't care what it is. It could literally be an industrial-wide convention, and we don't care. We're going to walk into it going the same thing. We don't care about the breakout sessions. We don't care about the learning experiences. We're not signing up for that shit. We'll walk in and slide our asses in the door and get in there. What we're really concerned about is meeting with the people that are doing it better than us. And we're going to take that meeting during that time and we're going to pick their brain apart to go, this is what you're doing well. How do we get that? Now, if I walk away from that, you're going to be like, well, you just paid $1,500 or $2,000 plus travel, plus hotel, plus food, plus this to show up and not go to a breakout.
I don't think that you have to go to every breakout session because I
Correct.
don't. I, will strategically do my day. I mean, like, there's been times where, like, Valerie and Melanie.
Oh,
have
we've
gone-
seen your color coded.
We know what the goddamn hell you're doing.
That's right.
All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Whatever. Everybody loves an itinerary. Okay.
No, this guy doesn't. Because one of my best itineraries
My
is...
team asks me for it when we go. Like, everybody has their own color. They have their own.
I
session.
love that.
Listen, I'm with you. As a matter of fact, that a couple weeks ago we were talking about the way you hang shirts. I hang my shirts the same
Right.
way. They have to the buttons face left.
Yeah, they have
Bro,
to go.
same.
Yeah.
I'm on the same boat. I'm not arguing with you guys
But
on that.
so it's, I
However,
don't go to every
Mhm.
breakout session as the owner. I will sometimes
send
network and go do
employees.
that.
Correct.
Valerie and Melanie's days are usually, because they're the only
I just
employees
wanna make
that
sure.
have gone with me to these types of things, where they are pretty well packed in the breakout sessions. Like they've come out of a breakout session before. It was the Power of No was the breakout session,
Ooh.
and the lady that was teaching it got heckled, I guess, the whole time by somebody that was like her friend. It was so crazy, and then they both came out, and I was like, okay, well, usually we have like a mini meeting after each breakout session of what did
You're
you learn.
intense.
And so then
I
they
love
did. They were like, we didn't take any notes this session, and I
We
was like,
just sat and
why?
listened.
And then they're like, because everything that she told us to do, we think that you would fire us, so we decided not to take notes on that.
Oh, great point. Okay,
Oh.
so here's my point to that is if you're going to, and this is most industry-wide, if we go to an industry-wide or a company-wide Restoration One breakout session, right? Some kind of learning session. If you're not up on your game and you're not actively trying to learn, this stuff will be new to you. But if you're actively trying to learn and you go to these sessions, it should all be rinse and repeat. This should not be new information. Nobody's breaking the barriers
They
down.
don't usually have a repeat. There's very few sessions of like the 100 or so sessions that they have during the 3 days that are a repeat from last year. They don't repeat sessions
Correct.
for QuickBooks.
Correct. However, if you know your game, much like the
But I'm just
restoration
saying, like,
industry,
the Power of No has nothing to do with accounting. That's just you as a person trying to develop like a level of confidence to say no.
100%. But
And
that's
some of us
you.
have a
That's you
problem with
boiling into your business. So for
Right.
our industry, we went to at the beginning of November. We went to a business retreat where we learned to, or not learn, but we continue to develop our business plan. And in doing so, we went to these breakout sessions, and one of them, let's pull it up, was on AI.
Mhm.
Right? And they're trying to tell me about how to use AI. Well, I can tell you that I've gone into AI enough that everything they're telling me is going to be very superficial. And I've already gone past that. So if I'm using these things that are known to my industry, I should know enough that nothing is brand new in my industry. Really?
Really?
Yes.
I'll take brand new things out all the time, and I've been doing accounting for 22 years.
And that's just debits and credits.
I don't know. I to me, I don't know. I think that I should be talking to the people that are way echelon in my industry, and that might be that our industry is so small that it's easier to get to that top person, right? Versus accounting, you now have to know laws. You have to know, right? There's so much more to accounting than there is to
I'm not
restoration.
a lawyer.
That's what I mean. Hi, that's what I mean. But that's what I'm saying is your industry is way more in depth and whatever, so you can learn new things. I'm not saying I don't come out with nuggets. Every single time I go to a convention or whatever, I pull nuggets.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, Josh says it's new, but not a surprise.
Right.
There you go.
But,
It's
like,
a nugget. To
it's
me, it's a
not-
nugget. It's like,
so-
oh, that's new. That's a nugget.
For us,
Exactly.
the breakout sessions are
Good
not
point, Josh.
really specific to accounting unless it's specific to like job costing or e-commerce and stuff, like a specific niche of accounting.
Sure.
Usually it's like completely different things, like having like happy staff or the Power of No or mergers and acquisitions or AI, like things that have nothing to do specifically with accounting, but just as things as an owner or a manager or something like that.
And that's why I asked if you go in with that, hey, I want to go to this particular breakout session because
Yep.
I want to grab this nugget. I'm hoping to grab this nugget. There's several times we've all gone in
Nugget.
hoping to
whatever
grab
it
a
is.
nugget, and we walk out of there going, "What a fucking waste of time."
You're
We've all been there.
to my point is you're not walking away going, this thing has changed my life.
Right.
What you're doing is walking away going, oh, I got 1 or 2 good points, 3, 4, I don't care. Great points that I can use. It's not changing my entire
a lot of
life.
times with where you all, 20 years is, oh shit, I used that 15 years ago and it worked. Sometimes what's old is new, and you go and that nugget keeps backing up. Where the hell did you do that
Motherfucker,
over?
damn it, I could have used
I mean,
that.
sometimes
Right.
that happens, right? But
Totally.
To me,
Nothing's life changing, is what I'm saying.
to me, those are the fun things. But there's training, like in the state of Illinois, every employee has to do sexual harassment training.
Fuck.
Right.
Sorry.
You see what I'm saying? Those type of trainings. Now, how do you feel on that? You know what I mean? Because sometimes in the world of business, there's trainings that are just dumb, and
we have to
listen,
do them.
Sexual harassment is not a funny thing. I'm not saying that, right? I'm just saying in the state of Illinois, you have to go that the training hasn't changed for 2 years.
We have officially changed our motto from safety third, to safety first, because some people actually took it as safety third. Even though we literally were stressing, take care of yourself, be yourself. But it was just some stupid little thing that we're like safety third, because if you ever watch Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe, shout out, great show, right? He gave this little background scene like clip, and it was like, we have so much safety concerns with the show because of the crazy ass places he's in, right? Yeah. And they're like, safety is huge, but we always joke and go safety third. And so I kind of adopted that and loved it and was like, safety third, but it's the way you deliver it, right? It's the way you present it. You can't just be like, safety third. No, you have to be like, safety's third, but fucking safety, bro, safety's first, not third, but it's we say it's third, but it's really first. Like,
but it's just like yourself. To Kent's point, like in 2018, Rich and I went to QuickBooks Connect, and Ben, I forget his last name, but it starts with a W. So Ben W taught a session on mergers and acquisitions, and Rich and I went to that, and we're like, this sounds really cool, but we're such a baby business. I'm not really sure how to do this. Yeah. And then last year when I went to the conference, he was teaching the same class again. And I was like, oh, I'm 100% going, move my flight. I'm going to go to his thing. And so
was it the same class?
It was slightly different because he had a panel and it wasn't just him.
Right. Cool.
And
same information?
Similar information. But now I understood listening to it again.
What it means.
I had like a very different perspective. And then I was able to finally connect those missing like dots that I had on the topic, because it like bothered me, because I was like, I don't understand how I can't figure this out.
So to my point earlier, we can all walk into something and we may know exactly where we're at.
Yeah.
And we walk in and go, oh, I got this. You're going to pull a nugget. Even if you walked into that mergers and acquisitions and you already knew it, you're going to walk in and still pull a nugget or two.
Right.
In my mind, if I walk into some place and something just completely changes my perspective, I really should consider what I'm doing. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, God, if this just changed my perspective, most things are not new. Right. So why am I not up to date on this?
Well, it's just like when I went to the succession planning seminar like a couple weeks ago, I know what succession planning is. I know why it's important, but listening to people from an M&I background, listening to an accountant.
Can you explain what an M&I background is? Because I don't know.
What? Mergers and acquisitions?
Oh, I thought that would be M&A.
M&A, whatever. M&A background.
Okay.
Mergers and acquisitions. So
Deal. Just you said M&I. Yeah. M&I, and I'm like
murders.
But so listening to somebody that looks at it from like that perspective, looking at it from someone that looks at it from a CFO perspective, and then somebody that looks at it from an accounting perspective, and listening to all of those people talk, so different.
Right.
Like it really like opened up a whole different like door to why all of these things need to be communicating at all times. And then they had like a lawyer come up and talk a bit more about some of the stuff also.
How often do you listen to other people with other perspectives in your industry? Because that, to me, might be one of the biggest training things that I can do in my world is to listen to somebody with a different perspective. Meaning, my wife, love you, Carrie, is a complete yin and yang. We are yin and yang, right? I say yes, she says no. I like it, she does not. I want to go run.
Good balance.
Right? Balance, great point, right? So how often when you're thinking about training yourself, do you go to somebody with the complete opposite perspective and ask them what to do? Do you get what I'm saying? Because to me, I can go to somebody that I know has my same perspective and ask them for their opinion, and I know I'm getting my opinion. Hey,
Well,
I want to go run this.
Dad.
Hang on, I want to go. Thank you. Great point. I want to go run this goddamn truck down the road. I'm going to hook a tow rope up, and I'm going to have somebody skiing behind. You in? Yes. Why? Because they grew up and they believed in the same thing, and there's snow. And God damn it, it works, right? Oh, yeah. Now, ask my wife the same thing, and she's going to be like, do you think that's really smart? Maybe y'all should just put your skis on, stand at the top of the hill, and pull each other down the hill. Not with a truck, not a motorized vehicle, right? She's going to give me that happy medium in between complete thrashing and relative, humanity.
I don't know if it's necessarily people that are industry specific, but yes, I do have a set of people. If I want a real answer and real opinion, I will go to those people. If I just want somebody to be a yes man and just let me do something as dumb as it is, then I have that group of people that I will ask. Like if I have people, if I'm like, hey, we're going to go do this and whatever, they're always going to say yes, but if
I'm pretty sure I'm in that boat.
Yeah. I don't feel like you're going to be like, no, that sounds dangerous.
Hey, Joe, we're going to go do this. Fuck yeah, I'm in. Whose car are we taking? What's that movie? Hey, we're going to go hurt some people.
Oh, yeah, that's that Ben Affleck movie.
I don't know, but it wasn't Ben Affleck. We're going to go hurt some people. Was it? I don't know. Wasn't that him saying in the movie? But it doesn't matter. He goes, whose car are we taking? Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
We're taking the truck, FYI.
But yeah, I have the different people in my life where if I really want to source an opinion, I'll go to those people. And yes, there are some people in my industry that I'll go and ask advice on, but usually like I don't necessarily need advice on my industry. It's usually something else.
Oh,
yes, Jim.
I have a question. What side of the fence do I fall on? Because I feel like you've called me for that. I feel like you've called me going, I want to do this. Should I?
I feel like more often than not, you will be on the side that I'm on when I'm asking, especially if I want to do a risky venture with the business.
Stupid shit. Like, let's go to Whiskey Bungalow. Yep, I'm in.
No, but I'm saying, even if I call you about a business thing and it's risky, I know you're going to give me a yes before a no because you'll take the risk.
I've said no to you before.
Yeah, but you're a risk taker.
I'm a risk taker.
But I feel like the
that's a good point. Okay, great point.
The percentage of me getting a no out of you is very low comparative to other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you ask me the question, do I ask questions back?
Yeah, we'll have a conversation about it.
Thank you. So
But
I'm not. It's
ultimately-
not like I'm just going like, yeah, fuck it, I'm in.
But
Go
ultimately,
for the
yeah.
bushes.
Yeah. If you're gonna aim for anything, don't aim for the trunk of the tree. Aim for the bushes.
No, but I'm just saying. Ultimately, I feel like you'll still be, even if you ask questions and gather more information, you're still more likely than not going to be a yes person for me. Even if you ask the questions, I could say whatever I'm going to say, and you'll be like, "Well, that's interesting, but did you ask this? But did you look at it from this angle?" And I'll say, "Yeah."
Joe's,
and this is
Joe's
that.
very calculated.
And if you
Yeah.
did, thank you.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
did, and you're like, yeah, I did this, this, and this, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
trust
Joe-
your opinion.
Joe's very calculated, but he'll always take the risk.
Right,
I'm a risk taker,
Yeah.
right. So like if I ask
However,
my mom,
a calculated risk taker,
That's
right? Like, yeah, thank
yeah,
you.
but if I
thank you.
ask you something and I give you the whole spiel and layout of the stuff, and you're like, "Okay, yeah, I would think I would do that too." But I give my mom the whole spiel and lay out the same thing, she'll be like, "Absolutely
Fuck
not."
you.
Yeah, stop it.
Like,
You're grounded. Go home.
She is.
I'm not
like,
baking you cookies
Right.
this year.
But here's
young
when
lady.
it comes to training, and I love the conversation, but then there's compliance, and they call that training, and I get very upset with that. because
It's not. It's not the same. That's why I haven't
Right.
brought it up.
right.
Thank you. I appreciate
But
that.
in each business, there is that, right? You've got to
Mhm.
do all the compliance BS that I call BS. Listen, HR people, it's not. It's wonderful. It's good stuff. Right?
Glorious.
But- but-
glorious.
Those quote unquote air quote trainings, what I'm using now is that's a click, 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 get through it, check it off. And you really don't learn a bunch in that quote unquote training again, because you're like, well, this is just
So to
boring.
my point earlier, that is nothing that should be new.
Right.
So that to me is much like going to a conference. You should not be learning anything mind blowing.
Correct.
It should just be a nugget here or two.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Hey, I pulled 5 nuggets, 6 nuggets from this conference. I feel great.
Yep.
1 nugget from a 2-day conference. I love it.
Yep.
I'm not mind blowing my employees because most of them should have gone through this through high school.
Sure.
Some form or fashion.
Yeah.
God damn it if they didn't. I'm going after that high school.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's kind of what it is. Yeah, you're right. Everybody's got to do it. That's compliance. That's not training.
Right.
Training should be new stuff. Even if it's not, you still need to figure it out. Make sure that you understand what you're doing. Because some people can go, well, I know how to drive a car. Do you?
Yeah.
Right? What's driving a car mean to you? Well, that means going forward and parking it and doing this. Great. I'm going to hook a trailer up. Can you drive the car? Nope. Well, you need more training.
Yeah, I drive a little bus.
Does it have a trailer?
Low pace bus.
Yeah?
I could.
It's a
I'll
short
pull
bus.
trailer. I
You
know
drive a
pull
short bus?
Yeah. It's a low pace bus.
All right. So what did you learn today?
What did we learn?
Hey. Y'all are looking at me, hey? I learned I learned that not everybody learns things from conferences. They really, some may go. I learned that Steph goes into conferences thinking she's going to like pull things, right? Where my mindset is different. So I learned that her and I are very different when we approach. And I knew this, it never clicked because I knew that she set up her schedules, her itineraries.
Yeah.
She had individual color coding for like all of her employees, right? Like I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, you and I approach these differently. I go into it commando.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I learned I can't do the redundancy of the same seminars or training or conference or whatever you want to call it. It has to be different every time I spend the money to go. I really can't do the same thing. Like for example, like you guys going to that business planning.
Planning.
Like that, I could never go to. Like it would make my skin crawl to be in the room.
Different.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's
Because each time, okay, all right, here, what did I learn? I learned that she doesn't know what business planning retreats mean.
Yes, I do.
What does it mean?
What do you mean?
What does it mean?
You guys go there and you do your projections for 2025 or in 2026, and this and that. And then if you guys didn't fill out your stupid spreadsheet, then they tell you that you have to do this and this with your spreadsheets. But it just doesn't, like, to me, I couldn't do it. Like sitting there and doing like the same thing each year and attempting to learn the same thing each year about my business, it makes my skin crawl. I can't do it. I don't have the attention span to sit for that.
Here's what I learned. I learned that Joe gets very upset when you don't like his retreats.
Well, David and Michelle Mentz love our retreats.
And another name drop. And congratulations. That's twice in the same show, guys.
Thank
you for watching,
Welcome.
paying attention.
Can't wait for your.
Here's what I learned is no matter how you learn, if you don't have a plan going into a training, it doesn't. You're going to walk out with nothing.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
Is how do you plan what you're doing?
Yeah.
Right. I plan training. We do our own training. We do our own whatever. That trip we do is to plan everything for the year.
Yeah.
So my 2025 is mostly planned out.
Yeah, and that's what Sharon's saying. Organized versus disorganized, right? So you're going into this training very organized and not disorganized.
I mean, she sort of is because all she's organizing is how to go into the training. But if she's not coming away with it, then I'm coming away
We
with my
specifically target the classes where we
Well, that's
need
what I'm saying,
growth
though.
and development.
But hang on, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. What do you do after
What
the
do you mean?
training?
We
This is a whole show. What did I learn
we
today?
implement the nuggets that we
I
took from
learned
the training
today
sessions.
that we need to learn we need to talk about how to organize our training after. How to train, how to organize after the training. Because we do that whole planning thing.
Mhm.
You do your planning thing, and then you do your QuickBooks
So how to organize post
and
training.
then you post organize after the training, right? You
Right.
organize to go into that training. Then after that, what happens?
We'll call it the day after.
There you go. For us, we go into this planned a bit, but this trip that we do is to organize. And then we come out of it going, these are now our X, Y, and Z action plans for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
When you drink the Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we add our own sugar. We're not just
Okay,
drinking
whatever.
said Kool-Aid. Fuck
Mhm.
off.
It doesn't take more
Okay.
than like 1 year of that to then be able to execute without paying $1,500 a person to go be told the same thing. I'm just saying.
Different. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. I would love to talk about. I know. She just keeps. What did I learn from Saturday? Steph
We're just gonna
loves
keep rolling.
to poke the bear. Poke expenses. Steph pokes expenses.
I'm just saying, you're not going to get me to change my perspective.
I'm not trying to change your perspective.
Awesome.
What I'm trying to do is say, when you walk away
Right.
from your event,
Because
what do you do post?
Because I take the
That's
time
all
to
I'm
plan
saying.
to be targeted in the classes that we're going to do.
Great.
And we have an implementation period of what we learned from those classes, and then we implement it in the business.
So you have an action plan. You have set action items. You
Mhm.
have a game plan on
Yeah,
how
I
to
can do it all by
execute.
myself without having to pay $1,500 per person for somebody to tell me how to do it.
Whoa.
But you get to go to Florida.
I mean, I love that you know the price
Not snorkeling. The water's gross.
right now because the storms.
There's a lot of storms.
Yeah.
And the
storms
hurricanes.
rolling. Hurricanes.
You get tree alligators.
The hurricanes. Tree alligator.
Yeah, sometimes the
Oh, they're
alligators end up in
iguanas?
trees.
What?
Sometimes alligators get blown into the trees.
Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Anyway,
we end it.
good stuff. Listen, everybody.
Good stuff. What about Joe?
Good, Joe. Everybody, we're going to
Thank
be
you.
off next week because
Yeah, we
there's
are.
a holiday, an American
Oh.
holiday, and that's Thanksgiving.
America.
And then it's
America.
it's a Friday of Black,
Mm.
and I'm out of town.
Okay.
You guys are enjoying family and doing good things, so we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Well, don't push it. We're not doing good things.
You're always doing it. It's risky, calculated, but good.
Cool. Thank you.
And for all of us here at 216 Creator Studios, sorry for being late, but we ran over a little bit, so you get a little extra bonus. It's
You
been a fun
know,
Friday.
the live show ran over, but the recorded show we're still over.
We're still we're still up.